my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Let's go ahead and do another episode of Ed Leedskalnin's Coral Castle. What I'd like to do is this book was given to me in '89, I believe, and it was made at Coral Castle. It was the Coral Castle book. So I guess we could hopefully believe some of this stuff. And I guess most of it we can, right? So let me see. Let's start off. What I wanted to do was read off a little section. Then we'll get into something in his pamphlet that he has. And that pamphlet is called Minerals, Vegetables, and Animal Life. And we're going to cover a little section of minerals that I've learned, and I think everybody should be brought up on if they know or don't know about our planet and minerals. So we'll start off the story tonight, and let's not get into Ed in Latvia. Let's just say, I don't know. If you guys know the story about Ed, I don't want to get into the Sweet 16, but over here we'll start off with this and we'll skip a little bit. It says, Edward Leedskalnin was born to a family of farmers and Stramarines, Pagada Parish, whatever that is, a small village outside Riga, Latvia in 1887. He was a frail and often sickly young man, trained as a clerk in Latvia and later as a stonemason. So he trained as a stonemason. That was 1887. He led an uneventful life until 1912. At the age of 26, he became engaged to a 16-year-old. She obviously canceled the engagement. He was heartbroken, and what he did, says Ed was heartbroken, crushed by this sudden rejection, and left his beloved Latvia, traveled to the Western Europe, and then to Canada. During his wanderings, he became interested in science, astronomy, and Egyptian history, and spent most of his leisure time reading about books and studying. Eventually, he moved to Washington State, where there he worked as a logger. Okay. For health reasons, he moved to warmer climates of California, Texas, and eventually Florida. At the age of 31, in 1918, this was, when he settled on an acre of isolated land in Florida City, purchased for only $12. For reasons unknown, he chose to begin secretly carving the first of his coral pieces, which would later become an astounding monument of his Sweet 16. Careful not to attract attention, Ed worked on his carvings at night. Then, during the afternoon and after hours of reading his books on magnetic current and cosmic force, he would sometimes ride his bicycle into town to stock up on supplies. Old-timers in the area said that Ed would stop and talk to them for a while, purchase sardines, crackers, eggs, and milk, his favorite foods, and be on his way to resume work by nightfall. He loved to spend time with local children, inviting them to play on his stone objects and join him for a wiener roast at a special barbecue grill. So he liked kids. Ed always dreamed of a sweet 16, having family, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to get into that crap. Okay. Using simple tools. This is the part that I'm interested in. Is using simple tools. Blocks, tackles, crude wenches, iron wedges fashioned from truck springs, a wheelbarrow made with a brake drum as its tire, so he can carry heavy boulders. A ladder built from pieces of old car. Ed ex, ex, excavated, cut, and moved tons of coral rock. To the best of anyone's knowledge, and through Ed's own account, he worked alone and without benefit of mechanical equipment. I wonder if he used jackhammers, air tools. Curious. Probably not, but curious. As Ed completed more and more pieces of the stone tribute, Ed's place, as he referred to, became an attraction for locals and visitors. New visitors would be charged admission. If they came back, he wouldn't charge them. In 1936, when the area around his land became too populated for Ed's taste, he decided to move to a location near Homestead, where he bought 10 acres of parcel land. To anyone but Leedskalnin, moving hundreds of tons of rock several miles had seemed impossible. Ed, faced with a dilemma, finally resorted to asking for assistance. Borrowing a neighbor's tractor, he would work several months loading a homemade trailer at night with pieces of the castle and moving them to his new home by day. No one ever saw Ed load or unload the pieces. He refused to allow visitors while he worked on that kind of sixth sense, which alerted him when someone was coming by to spy on him. All right. So, all right. So now we can get to the good stuff. Then we're going to get into the experiments. Occasionally, Ed would talk about his scientific experiments and about his books he had written and published. In his pamphlet, Minerals, Vegetables, and Animal Life, Ed describes the power of magnets. He says that they're the basis of life, and North and South Pole magnets, and writes about discovering magnets in his body. He believed that the internal magnets operated its muscle. So let's go ahead and talk about minerals, the planet Earth. All right, guys? All righty. So the Earth's crust we're going to talk about here. 98% of the Earth's crust. Okay, and what we're going to talk about the Elite Eight. Okay, the Elite Eight are number one, oxygen, 46%. Silicon, 28%. That's glass, by the way. Aluminum, 8%. That makes up 74% of the Earth's crust. These are your non-metals, okay? By the way, you guys, Earth's crust is 22 miles deep. In other words, it's 36,000 meters deep. This is what we're talking about in that much space, what we got here. 74% of it is the ones I just talked about. Now, the rest you got here is going to be iron, 6%, magnesium, 4%, calcium, 2.4%, potassium, 2.3%, sodium, 2.1%, other, 1%. That's 96% of the minerals of the Earth's crust. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right here I got Ed's PMH, okay? This thing is a beast. It has pull strength imaginable. You can't pull it apart when you put a bar in front of it, and it turns the wheel by sucking the metal to it. It's enormous. Let's look at something about it though. I got it hooked up to the 12-volt battery here, and we're gonna go ahead. I got a compass right here. What I want to show you guys is on the outside. Let's start off with the outside here first. We're gonna put the compass here, and you can see that that's the north side, the dark one. The south side is this one right here. Okay, north, south. I'm gonna go ahead and touch the battery to it, and you can see it just tightens up. Okay, and you can see over here I'm definitely touching it, and it's definitely just tightening it up. So it's staying no matter how many times I tap it north. So always north, always south. So let's look and see what is going on in the center part. So I would assume that it would do the same as the front. Well, let's go ahead and look at this and let's tap it. You guys ready? Hold on. So this side now is north, that's south. Wait a minute. So what I take from this is every time that these are hit, you got your energy staying constant on the prong ends, which is your north and south. On the back end is where you have your release because your wires here are connected to the car battery, and this is going to be when it dumps out like a capacitor in a tank circuit. It's going to reverse its poles. So here it's showing its face. Pretty cool, huh, guys?